Hello, Peaceful Profits Nation. This is Trish here with another exciting client spotlight for you today. Today, I am extremely excited to introduce to you our client, Penelope Lane. Penelope, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you, Trish. Thank you.
Such a joy to have you here. So just to introduce you a little bit to our listeners, Penelope is an expert in fitness, cognitive health, and mindfulness. As the founder of Prime Active, she helps older adults, particularly women over the age of 60, build strength, mobility, brain power, emotional health, and independence. For most of her youth, Penelope was not a fit or healthy person. She struggled to find a health routine that made her feel vibrant and motivated. Everything changed when she became pregnant at 30 and realized she had to look after more than her own health. Through a mix of therapy, mindfulness, and family support, Penelope began a radical lifestyle change. She's an experienced mind and body fitness trainer, clinical psychologist and mindfulness teacher, and a certified brain health trainer. Penelope brings an ideal mix of lively energy and serious research-based training to activate your body and brain together for maximum results. Wow. Thank you again for being here, Penelope.
Wow, she sounds good, doesn't she?
I absolutely agree. And that's the very reason we have you here. So thank you to coming on the show. And I just want to start with asking you just a really initial question is, how would you describe your latest recent success within the Peaceful Profits program?
So that would be hands down having my very first high ticket offer, my premium kind of program, having 3 sales of that, boom, 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 within a week's period. So that was very exciting because it was a long time in the making before I joined Peaceful Profits. And as soon as I joined Peaceful Profits, doing all the work that's that you get supported and guidance with, it kind of just all fell into place. And there you have it. So that was the highlight so far. I'm sure there'll be a lot more.
So I really noticed one thing about you specifically, Penelope, as we've been working together through the Peaceful Profits process, is that you go about so many things with such determination and focus. But inevitably, these are the valleys and we all experience them along the way. What would you say has been the most difficult challenge that you have faced so far? And what did you do to overcome it?
So the biggest difficulty is my own mind. So, that kind of that self-talk around the value of what I'm doing and therefore questioning the value, and then, the money that's involved in it and the time. So in the very quiet moments when I'm on my own, doing a lot of content creation and stuff, it's very easy for those negative thoughts to come in. And especially because I don't have family support. So I have my children, my adult children, but they're in their 30s, so they're off doing their own thing. But, there's those constant questions of, well, how long have you been at this? A few years. How much money is it costing you? Have you made any money yet? I'm sure the people out there will know exactly what I'm talking about here. And those times when I'm quiet in my office and I'm creating, I'm not really talking to a lot of people. Those conversations can come into my head, and if I'm feeling a bit vulnerable or a bit tired or a bit kind of run down, they start to take hold. What happens though, and this is only, I'm 65 now, so it's all of that wonderful, not all the time, but wonderful maturity and wisdom.
Yes.
And also having that kind of, just that almost like an automatic sense of what it is I need to do once I recognize what's happening in my head, because sometimes it takes a little while, but once I recognize that, it's putting into kind of action, putting into motion all of those things that I've learned over the years, just in terms of being a 65-year-old woman, but also, of course, the strategies and the techniques that I have learned as a professional person, as a, psychologist, and also as a fitness trainer. So I think that's the main thing. It's my mindset. It's my mindset, that negative thought. And the language of that is everyone else's voices around, I guess, people who they're not in the online world and they don't really understand. So I get their questions. I totally get them. But, they give me what can I say that word? They really annoy me.
Yeah. So a whole other space, isn't it, to actually get your mind around and accept that you're doing things differently.
Yep, exactly.
So what did you do to overcome it when you had these moments where you were stuck in your mind and you knew you were on your own path and you knew you had a process to follow? How did you block out the noise? How did you continue in such perseverance and determination like you did?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is, bringing into play the life skills that I have and also the professional skills. But equally importantly, if not more importantly, is that strong sense and day by day growing sense of the pain and anguish in women my age, late 50s, early 60s, and of course going into 70s, 80s and 90s, around their health and their well-being. I mean, they're really concerned and worried about their physical health and also their mental health, but more around cognitive health. So, memory and the fear of Alzheimer's and dementia. So as I go more into this process of working out the best possible way of helping women my age and the best program and foundations and, all that kind of stuff that's going to help them, it's really feeling that angst. And I've known it intellectually for a long time working as a psychologist and also in my own story and experience. But it's really the thing that most helps is to kind of just sit back a little and do a little meditation around, why am I doing this? I mean, there's monetary gains for myself. There's a sense of, self-satisfaction and self-esteem. And that's really important. But the most important thing is, wow, this is actually going to provide a framework, guidance and support for women that I know are there and they're struggling and they're really looking for something that's going to be helpful. Yeah. So that's the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So purpose-driven. And I've just seen that in your determination so many times. So thank you for showing up in the way that you do. You're most definitely on your way to completing the writing of your book titled The Active Aging System, the 4-step approach to lifelong fitness in body and brain after 60. Congratulations, because this is just such a wonderful accomplishment and milestone. Mm-hmm. And I am aware that Kim, who's part of the Peaceful Profits team, was your ghostwriter. So I would just love for you to share around what motivated you to hire a ghostwriter and any of the benefits of going down that path for you.
Yep, sure. Look, it's been and it is wonderful. I mean, I started working with Kim because I know that I can write a book. The time, though, it was kind of like it's that juggling act of time and where to put your energy. So, I have just expressed the importance of really getting my program out there, knowing how many women are, struggling and in angst, looking for something to help them with their, their health and well-being. So it's kind of like those juggling balls in the air. And I decided that it would take me a really long time to write the book, because it takes me a long time to write things. That's just how it is. So I decided that it was a better use of time to spend my energy on the creating the program and all that's involved in that, and to hire a ghostwriter. And I'm really glad that I did. Look, the process is really amazing because what happens is the kind of content of the book is your the answers to the questions that the ghostwriter or Kim has asked me. And it's kind of like she gives you an opportunity to express all that needs to be expressed for the book to be created. So it's just a really interesting process. So she's writing your words, but you're not having to kind of sit there and second guess yourself about how you're going to express it. I mean, you already have by answering the questions. Yeah. So as a ghostwriter, they kind of like pull that all together and they know how to, create the sentences and the paragraphs and, the chapters and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really know that much about it except for my own personal experience. It's I can hear myself as if, as I was answering the questions, it's kind of like what someone would be reading in the book. I mean, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's, it was that was the decision about what is my best use of time. Well, it's creating the program. It's providing the product that's going to help people and then handing over in collaboration with Kim, who's my ghostwriter. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that process, because lots of people kind of can get stuck on the question of, should I write my book? Would it be less than if I didn't write my book? Mm-hmm. But I think when you partner with that right person, that they can actually begin to take on your own voice in a way you actually really beautifully described. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that. Well, we are now our favorite part of the Client Spotlight episode, because you're about to launch your book and your funnel into the world, and you're doing this side by side with our amazing Guaranteed Done For You team. Mm-hmm. So I know this is going to be so exciting for you and a whole new landscape to start learning about yourself with. So can you tell the audience what's the number one piece of advice you would like to share to others who are working through this Peaceful Profits process from start to finish, just like you are?
I guess it goes back to, why am I doing this? So for you, it would be, why are you doing this? I mean, there are practical reasons why we, do an online course. There's all sorts of things. But in essence, if it gets back to it being a helpful thing for other people, and you can kind of honestly for yourself say, well, that is what it's about. It is about having this knowledge, this experience, life experience, these credentials, et cetera, et cetera. I have this within me, and this is going to help other people in these ways. If you really and kind of honestly and authentically can answer that question with, this is going to help other people, then that's the thing to focus on. That's what's been, monumental in keeping me buoyant and confident and determined to keep going with what can be a difficult process. And does that kind of answer the question? Yeah,
that's wonderful advice.
Yeah. And don't listen to don't listen. What do I want to express? It's kind of I'll put it this way: when people, and it's usually family, friends, question, and you know that they're questioning you for what you're doing in this process of developing an online kind of program and course, is reminding yourself about where they're coming from. So they're not judging you. They're not trying to get you to stop doing what you're doing. It's about really not understanding what you're doing. So it's an opportunity to really think about for yourself, to express what it is that you're doing, so that they can come on board. So that they can come on board with understanding why it is that you're doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that beautiful wisdom, Penelope, because that's so true. When we know our why, we know our why.
Yes.
So, yes, thank you. Well, it's now time to wrap up the episode. So how can our listeners find out more about the amazing work you're doing in the world and your program, The Active Ager, and where do they find out more? about you?
Well, as it stands at the moment, the main thing is my website. So www.primeactive.com.au. I live in Australia, in case you hadn't realised from my accent. So that's my website for my classes that I do, my programs that I do here in person in Western Australia. And also, if you're in Peaceful Profits, please message me via our Facebook group would be good. And I do have a Facebook group. My Facebook group is called Love Your Life Over 60. So that's a good, if you wanted to contact me through there or ask to join, that would be a good resource as well. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all of the opportunity to have a chat with you today and share the expertise that you currently are putting out in the world, and also the tremendous love and motivation and the reasons why you do what you do. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you up close today, Penelope. If there's anything else you would like to finish with, please do so.
Value what you're doing, because it is going to be helpful for other people. Yeah.
Well, thank you once again for being part of Peaceful Profits Nation, and wish you all the success in your upcoming funnel launch.
Lovely. Thank you, Trish. Thank you.